When I look back at the summer of my 17th year, I realize it wasn't just about late-night drives, high school crushes, or getting ready for senior year. That summer was the turning point when I understood what it meant to carry someone else's burden quietly, without expecting recognition. My best friend, Jake Miller, had always been the kind of guy who carried light around him. His laughter could fill a room, and he always had that mischievous grin like he knew something the rest of us didn't. We had been inseparable since middle school, playing basketball in his driveway until the sun dipped, sharing music we discovered online, and daydreaming about what life after high school might look like. But behind Jake's easy smile, there was a shadow he never fully spoke about. His mom, Mrs. Miller, Laura, was raising him and his younger sister, Emily, on her own. Jake's dad had walked out years earlier, and though Jake rarely brought it up, everyone in our small town knew. Laura worked 2 jobs, juggling shifts at a local diner and late nights at the hospital as a custodian. She never complained, but her tired eyes told a story of their own. One July afternoon, I went over to Jake's house, as usual. The Millers' home always had a kind of worn warmth, faded wallpaper, the smell of fresh laundry, and the sound of Emily humming to herself in her room. That day, though, the air felt heavier. Laura was standing in the kitchen with a box half opened on the table, her hands gripping the sides as if she wasn't sure whether to push it away or pull it closer. She looked up when I came in. "Oh, hi, Adam," she said, her voice softer than usual. "Jake's at the store with Emily. He'll be back soon." I hesitated, shifting the basketball under my arm. "Oh, okay. I can wait outside if you want." But instead of telling me to go, she sighed and motioned toward the chair.
"No, stay."
"Actually, I could use a hand." I sat the ball down and slid into the chair. The box in front of her was filled with old bills, envelopes, and papers stacked haphazardly. She pressed her lips together before speaking again. "You know," she said, almost as if she were talking to herself, "sometimes I feel like I'm failing them. Jake, Emily, I try so hard, but it feels like I'm drowning in responsibilities." Her words caught me off guard. Mrs. Miller wasn't the kind of woman who admitted weakness easily. She was strong, dependable, always smiling at us when we came in from school, always making sure there were snacks in the pantry, even if she was running late for work. I opened my mouth, not sure what to say, but she lifted her hand quickly, as though brushing away invisible tears. Then she gave me a half-smile that carried both sadness and resilience. "I'll pretend you're just helping me," she said gently, almost like a whisper. The way she said it stuck with me. She didn't want pity, and she wasn't asking for judgment. She just wanted someone to stand beside her for a moment, without making it a big deal. So I helped. That afternoon, we went through the stack of papers, organizing bills, making a list of what was due, and sorting through medical letters she hadn't had time to read. She showed me how she kept everything in neat piles, even though it overwhelmed her. By the time Jake and Emily returned, laughing with bags of groceries, the table looked less chaotic. Laura stood straighter, her tired shoulders a little lighter. She glanced at me with gratitude. She didn't voice, but I saw it in her eyes. That small act of helping became the beginning of something bigger. Over the next weeks, I found myself spending more time not just with Jake, but with his family. Sometimes I would mow their lawn while Jake was busy with basketball practice. Other times, I'd walk Emily to her friend's house so Laura could get a little more rest before her night shift. Jake never questioned it, maybe because he trusted me like a brother, or maybe because he knew deep down that his mom needed someone to notice the weight she carried. One evening, when the sky turned shades of pink and gold, Laura and I were in the backyard hanging laundry on the line. She paused, a clothespin in her hand, and looked at me. "You know, Adam," she said softly, "you don't have to do all this. You're just a kid. You should be out having fun." I shrugged, feeling my cheeks heat under the fading sunlight. "I don't mind. It doesn't feel like work." She smiled at me with that same quiet expression from before, a mixture of gratitude and sorrow. "Then I'll keep pretending you're just helping me. Because sometimes, pretending is the only way I can get through the day." Her words etched themselves deep into my heart. That summer taught me lessons no classroom could. It wasn't about grand gestures or dramatic moments. It was about the silent ways we hold each other up. The Millers didn't have much, but what they did have was love stitched into every sacrifice, every long shift, every late-night meal reheated, so her kids wouldn't go hungry. And as for me, I began to understand that sometimes the people who seem the strongest are the ones who need the most help, even if they ask you to pretend otherwise.